There are circumstances certainly where Alzheimer's disease is prevalent within family units,
Hmm.
but there's also incidents where it's not. And that's what makes
Yeah.
Alzheimer's disease such a mystery and why research and clinical trials are so important.
Hmm.
There's also known evidence that Alzheimer's disease and other dementia are more prevalent in certain populations,
Hmm.
in particularly African Americans and Hispanic Americans.
Yeah.
So individuals from all walks of life are needed in trials.
Welcome to the Answers for Elders radio show.
And welcome back, everyone, to Answers for Elders Radio Network. And we are here talking again with Jim Wilgus from the Alzheimer's Association. He is the regional vice president of the Pacific Northwest region. And Jim, I am just so excited to talk to you. I've been waiting a long time to get you on the show. There's so many people out there today that may know of someone that's been recently diagnosed. I mean, you can't get away from it. It's touched your life in some way. And I think that's the statistics have said that every single individual somehow is like within 3 degrees of someone that's been diagnosed or something like that. If there's a diagnose, even if they're mid or later stages, is there a trial for them?
Absolutely. And thanks again for having me on the broadcast. So there's needs for all kinds of individuals and trials, and certainly some trials don't require a diagnosis.
Hmm.
Some trials do, but the bottom
Hmm.
line is we need participants in trials. They're safe, they're ethically sound and founded. Many of them are at universities and
Hmm.
hospitals, and new treatments for Alzheimer's disease and other dementia are nearly impossible without clinical trials. And
Right.
many more participants are needed, including people, as I had mentioned, with dementia or those who are at risk of developing it. Also for caregivers, for
Hmm.
healthy volunteers with no
Hmm.
dementia issues,
Yeah.
all are urgently needed for the
Yeah.
hundreds and hundreds of trials that take place throughout the United States.
Yeah. And when you think about so many individuals, workplace hazards, I deal a lot with the former Seattle Seahawks. So I think about, the head injuries that so many of these older players experienced and all of the different aspects. Those are the individuals that you guys would love to work with on, to help in some way, because obviously if they have maybe a predisposition or even some brain injury or something like that, those are things that people can potentially get immediate help with. Now, have you also found that if for example, if someone has a loved one, like say a parent, can it be hereditary?
That's kind of a mystery. There are circumstances certainly where Alzheimer's disease is prevalent within family units,
Hmm.
but there's also incidents where it's not. And that's what makes
Yeah.
Alzheimer's disease such a mystery and why research and clinical trials are so important.
Hmm.
There's also known evidence that Alzheimer's disease and other dementia are more prevalent in certain populations,
Hmm.
in particularly African Americans and Hispanic Americans.
Yeah.
So individuals from all walks of life are needed in trials. And the best way to learn about trials that are available in your area is by going to our website, which is www.alz.org/trial match. Or you can just
Yes.
put the www.alz.org and put trial match in the search browser. And it'll come up with a portal that will introduce you to various opportunities that are in your area.
Hmm.
You can also contact our 1-800 24/7, 365-day a year number, which is
Hmm.
1-800 272 3900. And that
Hmm.
gets to our helpline where there's
Yes.
individuals that'll answer a myriad of questions that folks
Yeah.
have just about trials in general, but also what's available in your area.
Well, and your helpline is also a great support to family caregivers that are right
Absolutely.
now trying to figure out how to navigate every single moment of a life. And there's so many situations where, having a trained individual, this is not just your standard answering service. These are trained individuals that can help you through various challenges that you're having, or help, guide you to resources. And I think that's something that's so valuable about what the Alzheimer's Association does. And certainly to participate in a clinical trial, at the very least, and what I sit there and saying is, you're going to contribute to a legacy of a cure someday. And that's the thing that I've seen now with clinical breakthroughs. And Jim, I think I told you when I met you in the very first walk that I've had the honor of interviewing some of these doctors that are clinical research, they're amazing. And they are the individuals that have really put themselves out on the line to develop these breakthroughs. And a lot of that has to do with the clinical trials and the people that step up and say, yes, I'm going to make a difference with,
Absolutely,
try to help. And I think that's the key. And again, just to repeat to everyone, they're ethically and clinically safe. They're not anything that's going to be crazy. And so again, Jim, you and we're going to come back right after this. Did you know that you can discover hundreds of podcasts in our library on senior care? So visit our website and discover our decision guides that will help you also navigate decision making. Find us at answersforelders.com.